Good morning, Facebook Live. It's sunny today. Living in the mountains, the sun is not something that we see very often, and so today we had to bring you back outside to the forest so that we can enjoy the sun and learn a little bit more about the oils that come from here and the trees that are behind me here, and how they can support us. I hope that you have forests or nature close to you that you can access and use to support you in your health and wellness too, because they're pretty powerful, very, very powerful. And I wonder too if I can show you. So not only do we have the forest right here, but we also have mountains. And so I wanted to give you that view today too, because it's pretty stunning. And I wonder if I could get a little bit closer. So those are there's the Kootenay Glacier. The furthest mountain away is called the Kootenay Glacier. And the one closest here is called Elephant Mountain. And in the summertime, when it's all clear and there's no snow and you can see the whole mountain, it looks like an elephant lying down with his tusk up, not tusk, what's it called? His nose? What's that called? Laying out in front of him. Trunk, that's what it's called, trunk. So this is my backyard, and this is what I see when the sun is out and not when it's all overcast and dark and dreary. So here's a little bit of joy for you today. So the mountains and then the forest is right here. So I can go walking in the forest every day, which is beautiful. So let's talk about those forest oils. And I'll just get back seated here. So we are over halfway through February, and this tends to be the time of the year when we're done. We're just done with the snow. We're done with the cold, the roads. A lot of people who ski aren't done. They certainly want to keep skiing. But we're done living day to day with just the challenge that the snow brings. The beauty that it brings is kind of, it starts to wane, and it gets a little bit tiring for me. I know that it gets a little tiring. So what do we do? How do we keep propelling ourselves forward and find the gratitude and find the bliss that the snow has to offer us? And I think oils are a great way to do that. And so today I've got a selection of our tree oils, and I want to talk a little bit about how they can support us getting through this time and just through different emotional times as well. So do you have any tree oils? Before I get into them, check your stash. What do you have for tree oils? So I'm going to talk about five of them, but there are lots. So maybe you have some as well, and some different ones than what I have right now that I want to show you. So I'm going to start with the Northern Lights Black Spruce. And the reason I want to start with this one is because it's our Canadian oil. So it's grown in BC, in northern BC, in a place called Fort Nelson, BC. And I live in Nelson, BC. Those are two completely different places. So we've had people think, oh, you live near the farm, but I don't. It's way at the top of the province, way, way, way up north, where it's even colder and more snow, and it's much, much different climate than here. And the trees, the black spruce trees, grow really, really tall. And up north, there's what's called the Northern Lights. Have you ever heard or seen of the Northern Lights? Post below if you've seen Northern Lights and tell me, just describe what you have seen. I used to see them as a child. I lived in Dawson Creek, BC, which is maybe halfway between here and Fort Nelson, BC. And we used to see the Northern Lights dancing in the sky there on occasion, and we would whistle, and that would make the Northern Lights dance. Well, that's what the myth says. I think it's true, don't you? And so the Northern Lights, the black spruce trees, are so tall that they are said to touch the Northern Lights, and that's how this one got its name. That's why it's called Northern Lights Black Spruce. So it brings down all that energy, all those Northern Lights energy into the tree, and then we process that tree and distill it and put it in the bottle. So it's pretty special. And the scent on the black spruce is very rich, and it's great for using during meditation to help support a sense of grounding and spiritual awareness. It's also great to add, it's good for your skin, so you can add it to your moisturizer, and also great for just more of a masculine scent, because this is not floral at all. It's just a very grounding, helps to release emotional blocks. And it is said that it creates an umbrella protection, and in the forest, the animals would come to these trees and lay underneath them for protection, recharging, and rejuvenation. So they would get that right up from the roots and into them. So the animals know. They're very smart that way. So that's the black spruce. So cypress is an evergreen, and it has a very evergreen smell to it. This one is grown in Spain and distilled there, and it supports security and grounding, so it helps ease feelings of loss and helps to heal emotions. So it's a great one if you're experiencing a little bit of loss in your life. It's a great one to grab and apply or diffuse, however that is supportive for you. It's also one of our NHP products. That means natural health products. So it can be used for muscles, sore muscles, achy muscles, and also supports colds and coughs. It also has an emotional component. So if you are dealing with different emotions, this is a great oil for disrespect. So if you're noticing that in your system right now, if you notice a bit of disrespect for yourself or for others, grab a little bit of cypress and see if you can turn that around and see if that disrespect can turn into respect for yourself and for others. Pine. Pine is an awesome one around Christmas too. It's very refreshing and a powerful aroma. It's awesome in massage as well. So put it in a little bit of massage oil, V6 oil, coconut oil, or olive oil, and that is really, really, really great for just soothing those muscles. It's also an NHP product, so it's great for relaxation and for muscles, as we've already said, and for colds and coughs. So you can diffuse this if you've got some coughs going on, and it's really good for that. So the emotional component of pine is the emotion of being unimportant. So if you're noticing that coming up in your life, you're just feeling really unimportant, grab your pine. And I put it on the tip of my nose before, and so I can smell it. And it also, I don't know, it has some kind of way that it's working with those thoughts in my mind. So I really like that for the feelings of being unimportant. And then we have cedarwood. So cedarwood is very warm, a warm cedar aroma. It's very relaxing. It's also an NHP, so it's good for relaxing, for muscles, for colds and coughs. Awesome for the skin, really good for oily skin, and for acne. So it's a good one for your cabinet for your skin. And it also has said to enhance spiritual communication. It's used by the Native North Americans to enhance spiritual communication. So I like to use it in the evenings as well. It also is a tree that gravitates the animals, so the animals come to it and lay underneath it to be rejuvenated and find protection. The emotion that can often be connected with cedarwood is conceit. So if that's something you're dealing with in your life, a little bit of conceit, grab some cedarwood and apply that or diffuse that as well. All these oils also are really good to be, what's the word I'm looking for? Diluted. That's the word I'm looking for. So dilute these oils with a bit of coconut oil and or V6 oil so that you are not getting too much. So the next one I have is the Idaho Balsam Fir, and this one's very refreshing and uplifting. It's very appealing. People really find this one appealing, elevating, and opening. Helps to balance the mood and also increase spirituality. So if you are feeling emotions, so the emotional component of the balsam fir, if you're feeling inadequate or unsupported, the balsam fir can be really helpful with that. And I do really find that too. I like to apply it actually on my collar so that I smell it throughout the day. It tends to last. As with the black spruce, these tree oils tend to last longer than in aroma than the floral oils, so that's really, really cool. So by the end of the day, I'm still smelling it on my clothing, which is really cool. Also, I noticed that white fir is also good for feeling inadequate as well, and so the white fir and the balsam fir go really, really well together. So I really, really like it. It just kind of it's grounding. You'll notice that all of these are grounding. They all tend to have a spiritual component to them as well. And I've got the 3 that were NHP that can be used for other health and wellness issues as well. So those are my 5 tree oils for you today. Which ones do you have? So if you have a starter kit, then you'll have the black spruce. Do you have any other ones? Pine was one that was a free oil in December, so you may have that from then. And I think cypress was recently free as well. So you might want to add 1 or 2 of these to your next order if you're working with spirituality and grounding and just getting through these winter months. We need a little bit of support that way. So those are my oils for you today, and I just want to share, while I was away last week, I was visiting lots of friends and family, and one of the things that was really, really cool was when I went into everybody's homes, they all had a stash of oils, and it was really cool to see how everybody was displaying them and using them, and our conversations always gravitated towards the oils after we kind of caught up and got reacquainted with everybody. Oils was a really big part, and that was really cool to be able to. It wasn't a business trip. I didn't go away for a business trip, but just seeing that the oils are just part of so many people's lives, and that they're finding a lot of support for their health and wellness through the oils. So it was really fun to be able to talk and share that way. Coming up, we have a Saturday class this Saturday in Nelson. If you're local, you can come on down. I think I have 2 spots left. And then there's an online class coming up. It's called Oils for Kids. And if you've got kids, you'll want to take this class. It's awesome. It really talks about how to use the oils safely with your kids. So post below if you want to invite to that. It's by invite only, so I need your permission to invite you to that. So post below if you want to invite to that. So I've asked you to post a few things today, and I hope you get a chance to do that. And thank you for joining me today, and we will see you again soon. Bye-bye.